It's me, it's the GOC. Welcome back to the lounge at Chaos Corner. It's 10:25 Eastern Standard Time, Saturday night, live here with your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos. I'll say that to say this because I tell it like it is. We're getting ready for the main event at WWE Survivor Series War Games. It's the Bloodline against the Brawling Brutes. This is gonna be, as the kids say, a banger. As JR says, a slobber knocker. As Gorilla Monsoon says, the irresistible force meets the immovable object. You know the storylines. They've been having great vignettes backstage with Roman Reigns testing Sami Zayn, asking him why he lied to Jey Uso. Sami Zayn stepping forward and say he didn't want to distract him. The wise man sitting in the background, Paul Heyman. Yeah, the vignettes have been solid and have been right on time. So thanks for being here live to tape. Follow me on all social media platforms. The two active ones I'm on right now, Guardian of Chaos on YouTube and at Big Daddy GOC. And the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos on Twitter. Hit that profile link. That will bring you over here. We started off with the pre-show around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming up on 10:30. By the time all 10 competitors get out, you know this is not the traditional War Games, but hopefully maybe this is a little more traditional than the ladies' match. The 5 matches thus far, this is the 5th, have been solid. First coming out was Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. What a specimen McIntyre is for the Brawling Brutes. And then, of course, they're teaming with Ridge Holland and Butch. Sheamus as well, one tough son of a bitch, against, listen, the Samoan Dynasty, along with Heyman. And feeling a little oosy, Sami Zayn, and how he got that over. Honorary oos. So let's see how this stacks up against the traditional NWA Jim Crockett Promotions. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. I've put the first half of Survivor Series War Games. Again, first off, who knew that the GOC would be back home with the WWE covering live to tape? So I put the first half on YouTube. I've done a lot of work on Twitter, so I'm kind of mixing them both up. And here's the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and let me at him, Scoob, as JD from New York says. Butch, again, a tough team. Brawling Brutes, the Bloodline. So they're out first. They're into the cage, and it's one man starts off. It's going to be Butch starting off for a team Brawling Brutes. And of course, there's no better. Again, I already said got distracted. Samoan Dynasty, Heyman, Sami Zayn, how he's gotten over. The whole story here between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Who's going to turn on who? Is Roman, again, you just saw him in the video, give him the nice hug, and then they got the camera on Usos' face, on Roman's face, and gives that look, man, that look. I know that you know. Pehaoi, Melehini Kane, Pupule Wiki Wiki, Mahalo. So, is there a better storyline in pro wrestling than the Bloodline? The Usos holding the tag team titles, unified for how long? Roman Reigns for over 700 days as the champion, combined, unified champion SmackDown and Raw. No brand split. This has been great long-term booking and storytelling with the Bloodline and the whole history. And speaking of that, they just had a huge Samoan family reunion down in Pensacola, Florida, where they're doing a documentary on the bloodline of the Samoan dynasty. It should be unbelievable, so keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, the graphics now. It's going to be Jimmy and Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, the best grappler as far as the whole total package right now in the entire world. And here comes Heyman, more chins than a Chinese phone book, but still viable, still out there as a manager, walking with the walking boot. Obviously has an injury. They're all wearing red with the red lei, aloha. We the ones, down since day one-ish, Ultimate Oos. And you know my history with the Samoan Dynasty. Been blessed and fortunate enough and honored enough to work with everyone from Rikishi to Umaga to Yokozuna, and been on some of the same events with L.A. Smooth, a.k.a. Lloyd, Rosie, Jamal, which are out of some of the same characters. You guys get that. So to truly and even be able to talk and be on the same events with Alpha and Sika themselves, and know Little Sam, aka the Tonga Kid, since the early 80s, at 83, when I was a man at Institute of Higher Learning. Yes, that's right, the GOC was in college. And there's Silo Sokoa. Again, Rikishi's kids, Jimmy and Jay Uso, the bloodline, Sokoa. It really is something, and I've been blessed and fortunate enough to be along to perform with that bloodline as a manager with and against the Samoan Dynasty. So let that, put that in your pipe and smoke it. And speaking of that, after I get off of here, because of the moderating I do and all the crazy people in the chat, I'll be over with JD off the script. I'll be over after that as well with the OG Don Tony, heel Smark Jesse on the AEW Dynamites with JD and off the script. So I get myself around there. And just the imposingness and the entrance and the music and the legacy and the bloodline of the Samoan Dynasty coming out right now, as they like to call here, the bloodline. And again, I'm keeping the volume down here. There's Heyman and Reigns taking off both belts, and Heyman grabbing onto both of them. Is there a better genius, writer, booker than what he's turned out to be, than the rumors, than Paul Heyman? I don't think so. Like that? I don't think so. And I didn't even have a Red Bull tonight. I had 2 cups of coffee. I'm on Agua now. Come on, it's Saturday. We just got off of Thanksgiving, and thankful for you guys and you being here. I don't know if I'm going to start this in 2 different segments, or going to keep this whole segment to put up on YouTube and then snip it and clip it for Twitter. It's Butch, and it looks like it's Jimmy Uso to start off. Now, you guys know, there's the bell. Every 5 minutes, another grappler comes in from each side, and each side has a one-man advantage throughout. We'll see who gets the first advantage. And then, of course, it's not submit or surrender, like I said before. It's pinfall or submission here in the War Games. From Beantown, in the shadows of Titan Towers, here in the Constitution State, in between the 2 cities, Stanford and Boston. Let that sink in. We'll read the profile, will you, man? Again, so this is probably going to go, I'm going to predict a good 45 minutes to an hour. I gave my pre-game predictions, my pay-per-view predictions, the peacock predictions, whatever you want to call it. I'm going with the bloodline. Again, and here's Butch opening up on Jimmy Uso. Big clothesline. It looks like the advantage is going to go to the Brawling Brutes to begin with here at WWE Survivor Series War Games 2022. It's me. It's the GOC and the WWE. And then now, again, once all 10 men, again, 5-on-5, once all 10 are in, the War Games begins. So, again, we're starting off here with Jimmy Uso and Butch. Let's see if I cut it up into each segment of what we rather do of when each combatant enters the whole thing, or just wait until the actual War Games begins. I'm going to let you decide, but I'll say that to say this. Don't go anywhere. War Games, WWE, it's the bloodline, the Brawling Brutes. This is 2022 Pro Wrestling, the bloodline, and the GOC.